Welcome to the Unveiled Epic Echoes channel. Today, we're diving deep into an unexplored historical mystery. Far beyond the familiar maps of the Atlantic, where the ocean breathes slowly and the horizon seems to forget itself, there once lay a small island that sailors marked only with hesitant ink, an island whispered about in ship logs and half-burned journals, known among a few as the Island of Forgotten Dreams, a place said to appear only to those who had lost something they could never name. And it was in the summer of 1897 that Ilya's first felt its pull. Standing on the deck of a weathered research vessel as a historian sent by a private American society obsessed with unexplained colonial anomalies, though Ilya's himself carried a quieter reason, a dream recurring since childhood of a shoreline glowing faintly at dusk, and a bell ringing beneath the waves, a dream his mother used to hush him with before she vanished when he was 10, leaving behind nothing but a brass compass that never pointed north. The island revealed itself at dawn through a veil of silver mist, rising like a memory struggling to surface, its cliffs layered with ancient stone formations that looked carved rather than born. And as Ilya stepped ashore, the air felt thick with a hush, as if the land itself were listening, palms and low pines swaying in a rhythm that felt almost deliberate. And immediately he noticed the ruins, not grand temples but the remains of homes, doorways opening to nothing, hearths cold for centuries, yet arranged with the intimacy of a village abandoned mid-thought. And as he walked, he heard faint murmurs, not voices exactly, but impressions of laughter, sorrow, lullabies half-remembered, and his chest tightened with a strange familiarity. According to the few surviving records Ilya's had studied, the island had been briefly settled before the American Revolution by a mixed group of indigenous navigators and European outcasts who believed dreams were not private illusions, but shared messages from time itself. And they built their lives around a ritual called the keeping, a nightly gathering where dreams were spoken aloud and etched onto smooth stone tablets, not to interpret them, but to preserve them. Believing forgotten dreams could fracture reality, and when the settlements on the mainland began reporting mass sleep disturbances, shared nightmares, and sudden amnesia, the island vanished from official maps, erased by authorities who feared what they could not explain. As dusk fell on Ilya's first night, he followed a worn path to the center of the island where a massive stone ring stood, each pillar etched with symbols blending Algonquian forms and early colonial script. And there he found them, the not living people but impressions lingering like warm breath on cold glass. And when he touched one of the stones, the island responded, flooding his mind with images of ships wrecked by sudden fog, children dreaming of futures stolen by war, elders mourning languages slipping away. And he understood then that the island had not been abandoned. It had been overwhelmed, burdened with too many unremembered dreams, too many lives left unresolved. Night deepened, and the bell from his childhood dream rang again, now clearly coming from beneath the earth and guided by instinct rather than reason. Ilya's descended a spiral stair hidden beneath the stone ring, leading to a vast cavern where thousands of tablets lay stacked like sleeping books, each one warm to the touch. And at the center stood a pool of perfectly still water reflecting not his face but scenes from the past. And there he saw his mother, younger than he remembered, standing on this very island, placing her hand into the water as if making a promise. And the truth unfolded gently, that she had been one of the last, tasked with protecting the island's memory when the outside world tried to silence it. And she had left him the compass not to guide him home, but to guide him here when the time was right. The island trembled as if sensing his understanding, and Ilya's realized the climax of its long-held tension had arrived. The dreams stored here could no longer remain buried without tearing the island apart. They needed a witness willing to remember them, carry them forward, and speak them into the waking world. And though fear fluttered in him, it was softened by a deep, calming certainty, the kind that arrives just before sleep, and he accepted the role not as a hero, but as a listener. As dawn approached, Ilya's emerged onto the shore, the mist lifting as ships from different centuries appeared briefly on the horizon like fatting thoughts. And one by one the whispers quieted, not in loss but in relief, the island settling into a gentle stillness, its purpose fulfilled. And when the sun fully rose, the island of forgotten dreams began to fade, not vanishing but folding itself into the ocean's memory, leaving Ilya's alone with the compass now finally pointing true, not north or south, but inward. He returned to America months later with no artifacts, no proof that would satisfy institutions, yet his lectures changed, his writing softened, and those who listened reported sleeping better, dreaming more kindly, as if something long unspoken had finally been heard. And on quiet nights, Ilya's would still hear the bell not as a summons, but as a lullaby reminding him that nothing truly disappears as long as someone remembers. And somewhere beyond the maps, the island rested, calm at last. Its dreams no longer forgotten, but gently woven back into the world's endless night. This mysterious journey ends here, but stay tuned for more untold stories in our next video. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any new stories. Thank you, and see you again.